Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a showdown video of this 2001 Camry and this 2001 Honda Accord. Okay guys, we're going to start off this comparison by doing an exterior walk around of these two competitors. These cars are both 2001 models. They are both V6s and they're both automatics. They both have cloth interiors. And so they're basically exactly the same car, but the only real difference is like one of them has steel wheels and one of them has alloys, but you can get alloy wheels on that one. So yeah, we're gonna do an exterior walk around, come over the Camry. So the Camry is kind of the one that everyone, like, I would say, gets a little bit more preferential treatment. Like, people need a cheap car, they go get a Camry. It's very basic. It's very similar to the Honda. It has this beltline trim. This one specifically has a big scrape, but that's just specific to this car. This one has a rear wing. You can get a rear wing on the Honda as well. And like I said, I do like these wheels quite a bit. Alloy wheels, it's like the spinner pattern, kind of interesting. You can get steelies on these too. Usually it's like a lower trim or whatever. This one is the LE, which I think is like almost the highest trim package except for like the gold one. This one has this like I don't know what you'd call this, like I don't know what the hell, sunrise tail light that just explodes or whatever. Reflector. Yeah.
The newer taillights.
Yeah, and then Nick said that if you get like a 99 Camry, or
yeah, they're just straight across.
They're like a thinner tail light.
They look a little better.
Overall, it's a super basic car. You guys have seen this car like 1,000 times. This one's kind of beat up, especially right there. Now, if we move over to the Honda, very similar. Has beltline trim. Doesn't go all the way down. This one has a kind of odd colored rocker panel. I think that's how it's supposed to be from OEM. That's kind of the only main difference between the two. This one has really bad paint, but that's just specific to this car. This one, if you like the taillights better, I mean, you guys have seen these cars. The only big difference between these actual two cars, this one doesn't have the wing. And as you guys can see, rocker panel again, kind of odd. And then front fascia is literally identical.
Yeah, down to the emblem is the only thing different.
The only big difference, this one has like a chrome lip and this one doesn't, and that's it. Like, you have a single ribbed lower bumper, and then you have like the two slats here. It's incredible how similar the cars are, and it makes a lot of sense because they both come from the same place, Japan, and they both come from the same year, and they're both exactly the same purpose, and that is to move people around for a good price. So now we're gonna get into the interior. Yeah, we'll do the interior next of these cars. Okay guys, I'm on the inside of the 01 Camry. Both these cars have a lot of miles, just keep that in mind so it doesn't look super fresh, brand new in here. But both the cars have cloth interior. I like the seats in the Camry. They're nice and bolstered. If you want to give me the camera, show you guys. These are what the seats look like. This is the front seat here. You guys can see the door panels. It's kind of just a plasticky material, like padded door panel. You guys can see the gauge cluster. We did a whole review on this car, so we've done a detailed review of the car. Overall, the interior is very intuitive, very simple. Most important button is right there, traction off button. So you can do the front wheel drive, one wheel peels. This one has this, this is for a garage door opener. You can put it in there and then put it, and then you can like push it. Overall, very simple interior. It does have the sun visor extenders, as you can see here. And then power locks all the way around, power windows, and a power driver seat, and then it has cruise control. All the basic stuff, and a back seat. We'll get into the back seat real quick. Okay guys, now I'm in the back seat here, and as you guys can see, it's pretty comfortable. I was sitting behind myself. That's how I had the driver's seat earlier. And it's very spacious, super soft back here. Yeah, everything's beige. So, yeah. And the sound system in this car is actually pretty good. I think it's JBL speakers. It's pretty good. So, and we've also done a trunk demonstration before where I got in the trunk, so I'm not going to do that again. You guys can watch the other video. Overall, super basic interior, and then we'll move on to the Accord over here. This is Nick's car. He just got it. Only thing that doesn't work in here is radio, but that's not the car's fault. That's just this specific car.
Yeah, it's an aftermarket radio.
Yeah. And this one's gray. That's the biggest difference. These seats are not quite as comfy. Not like as they're definitely like comfy, but they're not as soft. And this one also just has power seats, power locks all the way around, and then as you guys can see, the dash is not quite as like chunky and vertical. I kind of like this dash better, actually, to be honest.
There's more storage room in the center console area.
For sure.
Yeah.
And this one has cup holders, just like that one.
I like how the shifter looks much more.
Yeah, it's a little more modern and a little less elderly looking.
Yeah, for the time.
So I like this interior, I would say, more. I just like the seats in the Camry more, and then I'll show you guys the back real quick. I think the Camry's a little bit bigger, to be honest, in the back.
Probably, yeah.
But this one has power seats as well. This one has, okay, this is kind of weird. Faux wood in the back, but in the front,
But not
it's
in the
just plastic. Very
Yeah.
Yeah, super
Yeah, I wouldn't
weird.
be surprised.
Anyways, yeah, no, it's a little bit smaller in the back, but this one doesn't have quite a nice sound system. I don't know if you could get an upgraded sound system or whatever. So I'd say so far, I like the look of this Accord interior a little bit better, but that Camry is super comfy. So now we're gonna get onto the specs of the car. So we're gonna pop the hood and take a look at the main, event of both of these cars, and that is the fact that they're both V6s. So we're gonna get under the hood of this Camry here. See if Cameron can figure it out. And as you guys can see, this is the mighty 1MZ 3-liter 4-cam V6. We actually just worked on this thing today. But I think it makes 200 horsepower and like 200 torque. We did a whole review on this car. But when you look at this one, it's a lot more enticing because this thing looks like, it's got some heat under the hood. VTEC, brother. Way more modern looking engine. It has a has a much more normal intake.
Oil unplugged.
Yeah.
Much more modern than that. Yeah.
I feel like this car was developed, this engine was developed like in the 90s or late 80s, and then it just found its way in a 2001 car, and then this thing is like new technology, 2001,
VTEC.
VTEC was around, but yeah, this is the J Series, pretty sure 3 liter. This thing's pretty sweet. Now, it says it has 200 horsepower, basically just like this Honda, but like the Toyota. But this thing freaking rips way more. I don't know what this one revs to. That one revs to like 62.5.
This one's also lighter.
This one, yeah, is a little bit lighter weight, but man, this thing is actually pretty zesty to drive. Like, it's urgent when you drive it.
Brings youth to you.
Yeah, if you think this car is going to be boring, it's actually not. And also, I would say this one's definitely easier to work on because this one has this goofy ass intake, and I mean, it just doesn't look as pleasant if you look at this. I mean, this is like,
Yeah, just
this
replacing
is like the
spark
hot
plugs
younger
is
like chick that you
way
meet
easier
at the
to
bar, and this is your wife. Not as good.
Oh.
Okay, now we're gonna drive them and see which one's better. So we'll do the Honda first.
Cool.
Okay, we are in the Honda. Shifter makes a little bit of noise, but
That's yeah.
just a situational thing.
Car specific.
So let's see how this thing drives. Ride is pretty good. This car did just get the brakes replaced. We'll add that, and it also has brand new tires. It handles pretty tight, I'm not gonna lie. It's a great driving car, actually. Both the cars do drive similar as far as just general like ride height and everything. Going over some bumps, it's not bad. It's not cushy. There's a little bit of road noise. Nothing crazy though. I'd say it's average for road noise. And then the power steering also was worked on a little bit or something.
It is a little broken for this car specifically, but
Yeah.
it's still pretty good as far as steering goes, even with it broken.
Yeah, the Camry is really over boosted. You'll see when we drive that, it feels super boosted. So, let's see. Brakes feel good though?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, let's see here. Give
Quick.
it a little rip here. Feels pretty quick. That was like half throttle.
40 to 25.
go up to that Y and then goose it.
Yeah. Do you want to turn left at the Y or go straight
Yeah,
at the
just
Y?
go left. Just go left. Just goose it.
Turns pretty nice.
Yeah, minimum body roll. Okay, goose it. Yeah, this thing's pretty fast, actually.
Yeah. Definitely faster than the Camry.
Yeah. This car specifically, funny enough, is a kilometer car. It's actually from Canada.
Yeah.
So
To your
it's
right.
gonna be a little, yeah, go left there. Overall, it feels very solid, feels planted. Nothing super tinny or chintzy about this. You know, driving a Civic, it's a little smaller and lighter, and same with the Corolla. It kind of feels a little less substantial, and the road noise is a little more significant and everything. This is obviously a mid-size car, mid-size sedan, so
Yeah.
a little bit more insulation from the road.
If you're a larger guy, in a same generation Civic, I can't fit in those. My head touches the ceiling, but in this car, it's much more comfortable than roomy.
Yeah, this is certainly a more accommodating car, and headroom is pretty darn good. And this one does not have a sunroof. I think the Camry has a sunroof.
Does it?
I don't know.
I didn't think so.
No, it doesn't. But I bet you could probably get one of these with a sunroof
Yeah, probably.
if you want. I mean, nobody uses sunroof anyways.
Yeah. Legroom in this car is really nice.
Yeah, the legroom is pretty significant. I'm sitting here in front. I don't
Yeah.
even know if the seat's all the way back, and I'm totally comfortable. I think that also has to do with this dash is a little bit thinner and less obtrusive. The dash
Yeah.
in the Camry's kind of chunky. So yeah, it drives. I mean, it drives like a car, but it is, like we said, it's pretty fast. This thing gets up and goes. It's urgent. It's not genuinely fast. You're not going to be, breaking any speed records, but it's
Fastest
quick.
car I've ever had.
Yeah. So we're gonna drive that next. Okay, guys, we just hop in the Camry. Much more quiet. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of like a sensory deprivation chamber.
Sure is.
Can barely tell the car's on. So yeah, go. But I will say one thing about this Camry. We did a whole video on it, but it has very high idle. Like you can crawl up a hill with this thing and you're not even on the gas. It's kind of weird. And the power steering is like super boosted, extremely boosted. Ride is a little more cush. This one doesn't have brand new brakes or anything, so I'm sure the cars stop very similar. But yeah, go ahead left. We went the other way, but yeah. Yeah, I would say over that bump, this car definitely feels more comfortable, the Camry. Soaks it up a little bit. Road noise is a little bit better, I would say. Man, the seat, I'm not gonna lie, the seat is way better. The best part about this car is the seats. Interior though, like I said, I kind of like the Honda look of it. You can probably get gray in this Camry. The beige is just a little matronly. Okay, take it right here. Just goose it.
Alright.
See what because as much as that Honda is actually pretty fast, this car is pretty quick too. Still both 200 horsepower. I think this one is just a little less intensive a tune. Yeah, it's pretty quick.
You want to go out to the road or just right here?
Just go to the road. Yeah, this car is definitely a little quieter. It does specifically have a whistle over there, but that's
the
because
mirror's messed up.
the mirror was replaced, so that's kind of a specific thing. And I just want to touch on how the cars both hold up so far in the interior and stuff. I would say this car seems to be a little more solid as far as build quality. Both the cars are built well. It's not a Kia.
This one has 79,000 more miles than...
And it feels a little bit better, actually. Everything's a little more solid. Nick's shifter makes a weird noise, and the e-brake feels like crap and stuff. But both cars are built well. You know, like I said, there's not a Kia, it's not a Hyundai that's like gonna rattle itself to death. It's also not a Civic or Corolla. Camry, you had that Corolla, man. That thing was not nearly as put together as this Camry. So if you're looking to get just a solid car, I would definitely spring for a Camry over a Corolla, but it doesn't get quite as good gas mileage. I didn't mention the Accord gas mileage, but I think it gets like low 20s.
Same as this.
Yeah, both of these cars, I mean, it's both 3-liter V6s, very similar weight, both automatic transmissions. I think they're both 4 speeds. Could be mistaken. Pretty sure they're 4 speeds though. So we're going to get to our final thoughts of the two cars and kind of break down the pros and cons of each car next. Okay guys, now that we have driven and gone over both of these cars, it's kind of time to talk about the pros and cons of each. Both the cars are really similar, but I would say, let's just talk about what the Camry strengths are. I would say the Camry is a little bit more quiet and comfortable, and I would say based on the mileage, it's a little bit more put together. This car I think was abused more, quite frankly though, hit the Honda. But Honda's a little bit cheaper usually, not quite the build quality of the Toyota. And just in general, this car is super duper solid. Cameron's family has had it for a while. They had one before this as well. It was also a green V6, funny enough. And overall, it's a super solid car. And like I said, definitely a more comfortable car and just a little bit more put together. Whereas the Accord is a little bit faster for sure and just a little bit more modern in every way. I like the interior on this one as far as the look of it for sure. Even if that one was gray or like a different color, I would still probably like this one more. And then the motor in this is pretty awesome. The gas mileage between the cars are very similar. It's like low 20s or whatever. So it's kind of just a choice between what do you like? Do you like this green car? Do you like the red car? That's your choice. But I mean, it doesn't really matter. Like, you're gonna get a good deal anyways because both these cars are very similar in price. It's just kind of which one can you get a better deal on. Nick found a really good deal on an Accord. That's why he bought an Accord. And the reason they bought a Toyota is because, well, they were looking for one, and yeah, they needed one because Riley crashed the other one. But so it's really just like kind of a win-win situation. Whatever you get, it's going to be good. It's going to be reliable. Both of these cars have quite a few miles on them, and they do well. So yeah, if you're looking to get one of these cars, I would say go for this one for comfort. And if you just want to be a little bit more fun, go for the Honda. But either way, you're going to get a really good car. And yeah. So thanks for checking out the video, and please subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And we have a full review on this car, and we also have a full review on this car as well.